Hello there. I'm so happy you are watching this. I think it'll be very worth your while, okay? So AstraZeneca company, the same people who are making the AstraZeneca vaccine, came up with a new shot. It's not a vaccine, it's our antibodies, and it has been shown to be very effective and lasts even longer than other known treatments. So stay tuned. All right, I'm glad you're still watching. So, what is it? Basically, they are a mix of, or a cocktail of monoclonal antibodies, two of them. I'll read them off because I cannot memorize those names, so weird. So, tixagevimab, and silgabimab. You know, the last part, mab, is monoclonal antibody. So those two are mixed together, and I did kind of like the thumbnail says one shot is on the same day, two shots in different arms, because you want to get 600 milligrams of this monoclonal antibody into you. And how are they different? Basically, they are modified with advanced technology so they can have triple the half-life of other monoclonal antibodies, meaning they'll last 3 times longer. So once you get them, they'll be in your system for a good 12 to 18 months. Some initial studies that they did show that that people still had high levels of them around 9 months. So this is very promising, since now with all the vaccines, they want us to get boosters because apparently it's rubbing off after like 6 months period. Okay, so that's what it is. So quickly, how it works: all monoclonal antibodies, especially for COVID, they're targeting the spike protein on the COVID virus. I'll probably put a picture here, and there, you have the COVID, and then you have the spike proteins, and those antibodies are going to bind to different sites of the spike protein, the little spikes around it, and that is what's going to make the virus unable to bind, infect, and reproduce by going into other cells in your body. So now, the more detailed part of the video, but it's interesting to prove that, it was a legit trial. They did the studies. They did the study, I believe, in almost 96 cities, but a total of 13 countries, including the US. They took 822 patients. And this type of study was a double-blind, randomized, multi-center trial. So what that means is just a little background. Double blind, meaning that the patient is blind and the provider is blind. So none of them know what is being given. So there's no bias, like, oh, I got the real shot, so now I'm gonna feel better, and there's a placebo effect or something. Then number 2 is randomized, so it's random. It's just random. Again, that decreases bias. And number 3 is multi-center, meaning it's being done in different cities, different countries, different centers, meaning, again, it's less bias, less chances of being, oh, it just worked in that specific hospital. Since it's being reproduced throughout many different centers, is a very good trial. So those are the things you should look for in a trial in case you're interested, that make it, like give you the best evidence. So in this 822 patients, I want to say 10% of them were older than 65, and about 90% of them did have comorbidities, which are medical conditions that make them more prone to have severe disease, such as cancer, diabetes, hypertension, obesity, etc. So what they did is, within 5 days of symptoms, these patients were either given the shots of placebo, meaning just water, or they were given the shots of the actual monoclonal antibody. And then they follow them for 29 days and check for severe development of COVID-19 as well as death. Okay? And I did check, because you are getting monoclonal antibodies. So what if they already are vaccinated and have monoclonal antibodies? So I went into the deep dive into the actual research, and yes, they actually picked patients that had not received vaccines, that had no recent antibodies provided, or that were planning on getting any. Okay, so these people had no antibodies for COVID. Results in the actual monoclonal antibody group, only 18 out of 407 people developed severe disease or death. And in the placebo group, I believe 37 out of 415 people died or had severe COVID. So we can see the difference, and this leads to reducing the risk of developing severe disease or death by at least 50%.
Wow.
Which is a good number, and that's why they were happy to put their research out there. However, this is still pending submission to, like a peer review paper, etc. And just so I know, they will still continue to follow these subjects, these participants, for 15 months. And that also brings me to the conclusion. So where are we now? So right now, in October 5th, I want to say, they submitted a request to be approved for emergency use to the FDA, since they had such promising results, and especially because they're offering this different treatment which gives you longer protection, 12 to 18 months, which it's not normal at this time. There's no other treatments like it. So again, conclusion quickly: mix of two monoclonal antibodies, they attack the spike protein, prevent severe disease and death from COVID, and they linger in the blood longer than other treatments, and that's it. And they submitted for the FDA emergency use approval. Okay, and that's it. This is the video. I hope it wasn't too long. I hope I kept you interested. If you did like this video, I have many other different videos that you can look throughout my channel. Please consider smashing the like button so YouTube knows this is content worth showing to other people. So support me. I'm a small channel. And share it with your friends if you learned anything at all. Okay, thank you so much.